Hey guys, welcome to Jaxbeautifulyou. In today's video, we are going to be talking about some of the most expensive fragrances that I have in my collection that I think are actually worth the money. So I have more than what I have. I picked out 10. So I have other fragrances in my collection that are pretty expensive that could have fit in this video, but I wanted to keep it to my top 10. So when I really look at the choices I picked out, I asked myself, if I bought these fragrances, like if I were to run out of them or lose them or whatever, and I needed to replace them, would I replace them, and would I replace them at full price? I did not pay full price for all of these, but I did pay full price for some of them. And the question is, if the only option was to replace these fragrances in my collection at full price, would I be willing to do that? And the answer is yes, for all 10 that I have to share with you. So I saw Veronica from Veronica Says do this video, and I thought this was a fantastic video idea, so I did copy her. I will give her credit in the description box. Shout out to Veronica for this fabulous idea. It got me thinking about my options and what I would choose myself. And anyway, I will leave her video in the description box. I will leave her channel in the description box. Check her out. If you are not subscribed to Veronica, you need to be, because she's absolutely fantastic. She's one of my favorite people on this platform, and I love watching her videos. She has some really great recommendations, and she's just a really beautiful person inside and out. So I will leave Veronica's information in the description box. Definitely go check her out. If you're new here, hi and welcome. My name is Jackie. Thank you so much for clicking on my thumbnail today. I hope you will consider subscribing. To my returning subscribers, thank you guys so much for all your continued support. I truly appreciate you. Without further ado, let's get into this video. Alright, this is a fragrance I did pay full price for, and I would do it again, and I will do it again if I ever run out of this fragrance, because it is my favorite, one of my favorite fragrances of all time, but it is my favorite vanilla fragrance in my collection. And this is by the House of Guerlain. This is Spiritueuse Vanille, and I just adore this perfume. I had a sample of this before I got it. It was one of those slow burns, you know, it was like a slow burn. I remember when I got a sample of it, I thought, wow, this is really great, but I don't know if it's worth that price. And then it just started, you know, eating away at me, and I couldn't stop thinking about it. And I took my sample back out and I sprayed it again, and I wore it, and I was getting these wafts off of my arm, and it was intoxicating, and it was gorgeous, and it was my favorite vanilla I've ever smelled. It's still my favorite vanilla. There's something so special about this, plus the bottle is very special to me as well. I have my name engraved, and I just think it's beautiful. It's a beautiful bottle. Beautiful scent. Now, I know that there are people out there who are going to say this is not worth the price because of the performance. However, for me, I do not get terrible performance out of this. I don't get great performance out of it, but it's satisfactory. I get a moderate performance with a moderate scent bubble. I can smell this on me, and I do get wafts of it, and I can smell it throughout my day. And the wafts that I get off of my clothes and my hair and my skin throughout the day is so enjoyable for me that I would definitely pay for this again, for sure. This is a very sophisticated and formal smelling vanilla. So to me, this is a very ambery, warm, kind of slightly spicy, has some pink pepper in it, woody vanilla. This is not an overly sweet cupcakey vanilla. This is not one of those cloying or even dessert-like. It's not a gourmand vanilla to my nose. It is a woody, gorgeous, formal, sophisticated, and super elevated vanilla. I don't know if you could tell how much I love this perfume, but it is definitely a top 10 for me, for sure. So there's incense, pink pepper, and bergamot in the opening, and then you have cedar, which I definitely pick up a lot of those woody notes. There's ylang ylang, there's Bulgarian rose and jasmine. I don't really get much of the floral notes, to be honest. Then there's vanilla and benzoin. I get a little bit of the pink pepper. I get a little bit of that incensey vibe. I get a lot of the cedar and a lot of the vanilla. I really love that Guerlain lets you pick out a lot of the aspects of the bottle as well. That is such a fun part of buying these fragrances from this line, because you can pick out this top portion here, which I got white marble. You can pick out the color of the cord. You can pick out this little seal if you want it to be gold or black, and then you can have it engraved with your name on the back. And how fun is that? The whole experience of this fragrance, the packaging, the presentation, everything about it just is extremely luxurious. And to me, this is just 100% worth the money for me. So that is by the House of Guerlain Spiritueuse Double Vanille. All right, up next we have by Parfums de Marly. This is Herod. This is 100% worth the price in my opinion. I did not pay full price for this fragrance, but I would. If I were to run out of this and I could not find it at a discount, I would 100% buy this at full price. I think this is such a gorgeous fragrance, and this is one of my, again, top 10 for life fragrances, which if you've been watching my channel, you know the story of this one. I do not usually like masculine leaning scents. I don't mind unisex scents, but anything that I perceive to lean in the masculine territory is very challenging for me, and I really thought that this was going to be a masculine leaning scent, and I wasn't interested in even trying it out. I went to a boutique in Charleston where they had all the Parfums de Marly's out, and I was sniffing around, decided to sniff this one for, you know, kicks and giggles, and absolutely fell in love. My jaw dropped open. I couldn't believe how much I loved this fragrance and how unisex it is, because I honestly feel like anyone can wear this. This is a fragrance that my husband and I both wear. He loves this one. I love this one. Oh, this smells so good. Every time I smell it. I put it away. I was wearing this one a lot when I first got it. I put it away for a little bit because I feel like it's more of a fall winter scent, but every time I smell it, I literally just am fighting the urge to douse myself in this fragrance because I think it smells freaking amazing. This has cinnamon in the opening. It also has black pepper, but I do not get black pepper. I get cinnamon. This has a lot of tobacco. I think it says tobacco leaf. There's incense. There's osmanthus. There's labdanum. I don't really pick up much of that. I really just get a very sweet tobacco in the heart of this fragrance. There's vanilla in the base. I definitely pick up a ton of the vanilla. There are some woody notes and there's some musk in here as well, but mostly I get vanilla. So mainly I get cinnamon, lots of cinnamon, lots of sweet tobacco, and then lots of vanilla in the base. That's what my nose picks up from this fragrance. I love it. Now, I know some people have complained about the performance of this, which is shocking to me because I have never had a problem with the performance. My husband doesn't have a problem with the performance. We both wear it. This lasts me all day, and I have a gorgeous sillage around me, especially if I spray it on my clothes. It's there for until I wash my clothes. I can still smell it the next day on my clothes. So I have zero issues with the performance of this. So when I hear people say that they do, I'm always surprised. I mean, I believe them because we're all different. You know, we all have different experiences, different skin chemistry, different climates, different, sometimes we go nose blind to different notes. You know, it's so subjective. But for me, the performance is fantastic. Like I said, I would pay full price for this. And I know my husband would want me to because he would miss this fragrance. Totally worth the price in my opinion. I absolutely adore this fragrance. I think this is my second favorite fragrance in my entire collection. And I am so glad that I got it. So then I guess we're going to talk about my first favorite fragrance in my collection. You guys already know about this one. I'm sorry to bring it up yet again, but how could I possibly do this video without talking about this fragrance? Come on. This is by Kilian, and this is Angel Share. I know I have spoken about this fragrance to death. You guys are probably so sick of it, and you guys were probably like, oh yay, spring and summer's coming, she won't talk about Angel Share anymore. But here I am talking about Angel Share yet again, because this fragrance is definitely worth the price, and I did pay full price for this. I bought it from Sephora at full price, and you better believe I would do it again. But this is a refillable bottle, so I don't have to. I can keep the bottle and just get the refill. Yeah, if I couldn't do that and I had to pay full price for it, I would. Absolutely. My favorite fragrance of all time. Out of all the fragrances I keep trying, out of all the fragrances I keep sampling, out of all the fragrances I fall in love with, nothing beats this fragrance for me, you guys. I get amazing performance out of this. This is a funny fragrance. I've heard some seriously polarizing views on the performance of this. This is a boozy apple pie with cinnamon, definitely lots of cinnamon, lots of booze. There's cognac in here. There is something that's going on that gives it this ooey gooey apple pie filling smell to my nose. And then in the base, just when you think this perfume is going to get too sweet, The base comes through with all of this beautiful oak that just rounds the fragrance out and makes it absolute perfection. And since I talk about this fragrance so much, I have had people who have told me alternatives to this fragrance. People have said, oh, if you love Angel Share, try this, try this, try this, which I have. And I like them all because I am a big cinnamon and apple person. Anything that's cinnamon and apple-y, I love it. But still, nothing beats Angel Share for me. All right, next up we have by the House of Xerjoff Ivory Root. This is 100% full price, full retail price worthy for me. This is a funny fragrance because when I first tried it, I had a sample of it. It was not a blind buy. When I first tried it, I didn't even really like it. It was too much. It was so spicy in the opening. It was even too spicy for me. And I love spicy in my fragrances, but when you first spray it, and I still feel that way when I first spray it. Yeah, when I smell it off the cap, it's really beautiful now that I know what it actually smells like, but it's a little bit like, wow, in the opening. It'll take you back if you're not prepared. I mean, buckle up, hold on to something. But this is a beautiful, spicy vanilla fragrance, and I'm pretty sure I smell tobacco in here. This is from the Join the Club collection, so the notes are vaulted. We don't really know what's in here, but there's definitely some warm spicy and there's some fresh spicy in here as well. I definitely pick up something fresh spicy like basil mixed with some warm spicy, maybe like some nutmeg. As it dries down, that spiciness does tone down a little bit and that vanilla starts to come through. It just makes this fragrance so intoxicating and so beautiful. It's listed in the notes on Fragrantica, patchouli, and I can see that. This is a very good performing fragrance. This will definitely last you all day. I can only wear this in cold weather because it is so spicy that if I tried to wear this in hot weather, it would just be too much. I don't think I would be able to wear it, but I do think this is worth the money. Great performing, very unique, very date night, sexy, intoxicating, very addictive fragrance that I would pay full price for. So that is by Xerjoff Ivory Root. All right, up next we have a fragrance by the House of BDK. I have been talking about this one a lot lately as well. This is Velvet Tonka. This is definitely a fragrance I would pay full price for. I did not pay full price for this one, but I would 100%. So this one, I had a full decant of a 10 ml, burned through it. Loved it. There's something incredibly calming, comforting, nostalgic, relaxing about this fragrance. It reminds me of spring. It reminds me of Easter. It smells like almonds. It smells like marzipan. It has like a hint of a cherry blossom vibe to me, which there's rose oil and tobacco in here, but for some reason that translates in my brain mixed together as cherry blossom. I don't know why. This is one of my all-time favorites. Like, this is rising up to top 10 level status for me. I wear this one a ton. I get amazing performance out of this. It's not a beast, but it lasts all day and I smell it on me all day. I definitely have a moderate sillage around me and it is super enjoyable. This also has a lot of vanilla and obviously tonka bean. It's called Velvet Tonka. Definitely pick that up. Very vanilla and tonka bean. It does kind of turn a little bit powdery on my skin, but not too much. It has that creaminess running through it from the vanilla and kind of tones that powderiness down for me, but this is just one of my favorite fragrances of all time. I cannot be without this one. I don't 100% know if this is top 10 for life for me at the moment, but it's definitely getting there because I can wear this pretty much anytime, any place, anywhere. It's such an easy reach for me and I know I'm gonna absolutely love it every time I wear it. So it's one of those fragrances that I don't struggle to wear. It's one that I'm gonna get my money's worth because I will actually truly wear this one and choose this fragrance often, if that makes sense. So that is by the House of BDK Velvet Tonka. Okay, another fragrance that I went nuts over when I got it. I could not shut up about this fragrance because it is so freaking good and I 100% think this is worth the money. I did pay full price for this and I would do it again because I think it is worth every single penny. This is a 10 out of 10 perfume for me. Every single thing about this perfume is something I love. So from the packaging to the presentation to the scent to the performance, everything I love about it so much. This is by the House of Narcotica and this is Dulce Diablo, which translates into sweet devil, and that's exactly what this sucker is. It's a sweet devil. It's so good, so good. Now when I first got this, I said it was a strong performing perfume, but I didn't think it was beast mode, but that has since changed. My opinion has changed. This is an Extrait de Parfum and it performs like an Extrait de Parfum. I think it just needed time to settle or something, because I remember the first couple of times I wore it, I was like, oh, this is a great performing perfume, but I don't know why people are saying this is a beast. And then I wore it again and it was a beast. It was like, oh, okay, that's why people say it's a beast. This is a boozy, sweet gourmand. There are a lot of notes in here, but I don't get any of the non-gourmand notes personally. I think there's like, yeah, there's oak moss, Divana, there's patchouli, there's musk in here, sandalwood. I don't get any of that. All I get are the gourmand notes. So in the top you have cognac and rum, extremely, extremely boozy fragrance. So you have to like boozy notes in order to like this. I personally love boozy notes. There's lots of apricot in here, so you have to be a fan of apricot. It smells so good. There's chocolate in here as well. I definitely picked that up, but the chocolate doesn't smell to me like a milk chocolate or even a dark chocolate. It translates to my nose as Tootsie Rolls, and I love that. It's boozy, apricot, and Tootsie Rolls. It smells intoxicatingly good and delicious. There's also cacao, there's honey, there's sugar in here. I don't necessarily think I could tell you, oh yeah, I smell honey in here, or sugar necessarily. It is very sweet, so I believe there's sugar in here because it's definitely sweet. But mostly what I get is booze, apricots, Tootsie Rolls. That's what I get from this fragrance, and it smells so good. Can't recommend it enough. Although I will say that it is definitely not a safe blend buy. Don't just rush out and buy this. You have to test it, because I don't think this is for everyone. A, you have to love sweet fragrances. B, you have to love boozy fragrances. You have to like apricots, and you have to like super strong gourmand fragrances. To me, it was worth the price for sure. I really, really, really enjoy this one. So that is by Narcotica Dulce Diablo. All right, next up, we have a pretty expensive fragrance because you can only get this in a 50 ml. I think it retails for $220 for just a 50 ml. That's pretty expensive when you break it down like that. But I don't really care because I would pay for this again. I would pay full price. I did pay full price, and I would do it again because I think it is absolutely gorgeous. This is by the house of Thameen, and this is Peregrina. You guys, this was a fragrance that I didn't even really, I mean, I liked it. I liked it from the beginning. The second I smelled it, I liked it, but I did not love it or think it was worth that price tag. I thought it smelled like other fragrances I've already smelled, and it wasn't really wowing me when I first sprayed it. So I sprayed it on paper. I had a sample, sprayed it on paper, and I thought, oh, that's pretty, but I'm definitely not paying that price. And then I put it on my skin, and I was like, yeah, definitely a very rosy, ambery, sweet, delicious fragrance. I really like it. Definitely not paying that price. And then I went through the night, and I was getting these wafts off of my skin, and I just kept thinking, holy crap, this smells good. Like, I am really thoroughly enjoying this sillage and the way that I smell right now, and I could not stop smelling myself. And by the end of the night, I ordered a bottle because I knew I had to have this. This is gorgeous. If you have tried this fragrance on a piece of paper, or even just like sprayed it on the back of your hand and you thought, nah, it's really not worth the price, try it again. Just do it. Just try it again, get a sample, try it again, and wear it. Like, really wear it. Wear it throughout the day, because I'm telling you, the way this smells on the skin and in the air is intoxicating if you just give it a chance. It is just beautiful in my opinion. It's one of my favorite rose fragrances in my collection right now. So it has damask rose in the opening, there's jasmine, there's gardenia in the opening, but don't let that scare you. I don't smell any gardenia in here. I just get this beautiful ambery rose and some white florals that are not necessarily identifiable. You can just tell there's white florals in there, but it's not indolic, or nothing in this perfume is harsh. Everything is so well blended with just the right amounts. Nothing is overdone. The rose in here is definitely present, but it's done to perfection. Oh, I love this one. And then there's caramel in the base. There's vanilla, amber, myrrh, and ylang ylang. That caramel is present, but it's not thick, sticky caramel. It's kind of thinned out, sweet. I think the only time I wouldn't be able to wear this is in the dead heat of summer. I think it would be a little much in summer, but spring, fall, winter, great performance on me. This lasts all day. I have a moderate scent bubble around me. It's definitely not a beast, but I still get really good performance out of it. There's amber, powdery notes, and white musk in the base. I do pick up some powderiness in here, but it's not over the top. It's powdery, but not to the point where it's like too powdery. And I love the bottle. I love these blue bottles from the House of Thameen. I think they're really just pretty. I like the color, I think it is. I think it's the color that I like so much. I really enjoy this blue color. There's a magnetic cap that I really appreciate. Yeah, just high quality packaging, scent, totally worth it in my opinion, and I would purchase it again. So that is by the House of Thameen Peregrina. Another one by Parfums de Marly is Delina Exclusif. This is definitely one. I did not pay full price for this, but I would if I had to, because I can't be without this. Another top 10 for life for me, and this is just a beautiful, beautiful fragrance. I won't go into too much about this fragrance because I know everybody talks about Delina and Delina Exclusif, but for good reason. This is a very long-lasting, strong beast mode perfume, so you're definitely getting bang for your buck. Well, I guess. It's an expensive fragrance, but at least you're not paying all that money for a weak perfume, you know? You're not paying a ton of money for a perfume that doesn't last or perform. This definitely is a beast mode. You will not have problems with the performance. You actually have to be careful not to overspray it. So this is lychee, pear, and bergamot in the opening. So it definitely has a fruity, brighter kind of opening. I really, really love the lychee in here. I love pear and I love bergamot in my fragrances. This has Turkish rose. This does have oud in it, but I do not get oud from this at all. I don't like oud. I don't pick up oud from here. I pick up something that's a little tiny bit woody, but I definitely don't get oud. And then there's incense in here. Really don't pick up incense either, but I do get, again, something deeper in the fragrance. I couldn't really pinpoint what it was. I certainly wouldn't know it was incense. So don't let that scare you. And then there's vanilla, amber, and woody notes in the base. Definitely pick up the vanilla. So it's definitely very fruity in the opening. I get a little bit of a darkness from the oud and incense, but not much. Just not even darkness. It's like just something that kind of deepens the fragrance up just a little bit. I get a lot of rose and a lot of vanilla. So that is by Parfums de Marly Delina Exclusif. Oh, I have another Kilian in here. So this is by Kilian, and this is Love Don't Be Shy Extreme. I did pay full price for this fragrance, and I would do it again. I bought it from Sephora. I freaking love this fragrance, and I really loved it when I got it, but I love it even more now than I did then. This is a fragrance I reach for a lot. There is a good dent in here. It's kind of hard to see, but there's a good dent in here because I do wear this one often. This is one of my favorite springtime scents ever. I get in the mood for this. This is so good. If you love marshmallow, neroli, orange blossom, if you're into that type of scent profile, check this one out. I do like the original Love Don't Be Shy, but I love this one. I like Love Don't Be Shy, love the extreme version. The extreme version has added rose in it, which kind of reminds me of like Turkish Delight. So every time I wear this fragrance, I picture marshmallows, like powdery marshmallows on a bed of rose petals. And I also get like some Turkish Delight vibes with some orange blossom. And I get better performance out of this one than I do out of the original Love Don't Be Shy. This one's not amazing performance. It's definitely not super strong or long lasting. I get probably about 6 hours max out of this perfume with a moderate scent bubble. I do have to overspray it, and I do have to spray my clothes and my hair, but I'm okay with it because it will perform if I overspray. If I put it on my clothes, it will perform, and the sillage of this is just so enjoyable that I just kind of look past the fact that I wish it lasted just a little bit longer, but it's not unacceptable. It's not unacceptable for me. So this is one I would purchase again for sure. If I run out, if I burn through this, I'll be buying another bottle because I don't want to be without it. All right, last but certainly not least, we have by the House of Oud. This is Dates Delight. One of my all-time favorite fragrances again. I don't think this was top 10, but it was pretty close. I think this made it in the runner-up. Oh my gosh. I love this perfume so much. This is a gorgeous date fragrance. Sweet, dark, gourmand, but not full gourmand. There are other notes in here that keeps this from being a full-on gourmand. This is a semi-gourmand, but it is absolutely beautiful. There's dates and peony in the opening. I picture like baking cooked dessert, some sort of dessert date going on in here. And then there's cinnamon, caramel, tonka bean, and coumarin. The cinnamon and the caramel is absolutely fantastic in this fragrance. I love the cinnamon touch in here. It definitely gives to that dessert-like quality for sure. There's honey, sugar. I mean, come on, if you're a gourmand lover, come on. And then there's vanilla, benzoin, and labdanum. But keep in mind there is a little bit of a dark base to this. So I think the labdanum in here kind of makes for a darker kind of base. This is, like I said, not a full-on foodie gourmand to my nose. There is a darker, almost kind of like a slight Middle Eastern vibe base to this fragrance, but I absolutely love it. I think it makes it so interesting. One of my favorite fall fragrances. This just says fall to me for some reason. I get so in the mood for this when the weather starts to get cooler. I get so in the mood for this. Plus the performance on this is outstanding. I love these bottles. Some people don't like them, but I think they're super cute and beautiful. They're like a work of art because these are all hand dipped. So no bottle is the same. I think it's totally worth the money and would pay full price for this fragrance for sure. All right, you guys, and that's it for today's video. Those are the fragrances in my collection that are expensive and worth the price, in my opinion. So I want to know from you guys what you think. Have you tried any of these fragrances? And do you think they're worth your money? And if you have some super expensive fragrances in your collection that you think are worth every single penny, please tell me about them. I want to know. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video and you found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I hope everybody is having an amazing day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!